everyone ready now?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, let's get rid of everything. So we can just hit A to select all of our default objects in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Let's delete it. I hit X. If you hit the letter X, it'll bring up this delete menu.
Oh, it's a new one.
And everything will be gone. And then we're going to start adding in all of the files that we prepared on the side. So I have my screen set up like this so we can just drag and drop. So we can just drag each piece in there. And we're going to see this little append button. If we click on append, we can go to collection. And then collection again. Then you're going to see your little clone piece that you added into your scene. All right, we good with that?
Wait.
I like it. Keep me in pace.
No.
No. What happened?
This
Hey,
whole
I'm
time I'm
telling
trying
you.
to find my files.
Yes, I was gonna say Bev is like he's in that mode where he knows where everything is at any given moment, so he can grab it. Beginner life is like, oh snap, I've got to figure out where this file even exists on my computer.
Yeah, it's kind of like that meme when you're like in maths class. You just look at your notes for 1 second, look at the board again. It's like a billion equations already done. It's like, oh
Honestly.
So
no.
Bev, I think this might be a good time for some people who are watching to even explain what these little bone-looking skeleton thing is, because I know a lot of people have no idea what they're even looking at when they pull this stuff up.
Yeah, so this is your clone's bones. It's bone structure, it's skeleton structure. This is what will help your clone move properly. And we're going to delete it.
What? Why? I just put it in.
You'll see. It's going to be good. It'll be fast. It'll be
My one
easy.
doesn't have a head. Where's my head gone?
So we're going to add each piece. So depending on your clone, you're going to have a bunch of Blender files that you took out from the zip, right? So inside of each of these zips, male, female, Blender, you have all these Blender files. So we're going to pull them all out and then drag each one by one in and do the same process, append, collection.
Append, collection.
Yeah,
And-
pretty much the same process. For anybody who's watched the videos that we released on the Artifact YouTube channel, that's basically the same process. And by appending the Blender files, you'll see that it's the best way to do so. And they automatically go straight to the armature.
Very good tip.
Exactly. So once everyone's at this stage here, we can just hit the letter A with your mouse anywhere in this area to select everything. Then we're just going to right click, go down to parent, and then we're going to go down to clear and keep transformation. And then this sidebar is going to get all wonky, and this is what we want actually. So at this point, all of these collection boxes, we'll start with these and delete them. So if I hit right up here and I hit the letter X to delete, it'll disappear, and we're going to go down the line and delete all of them. All right, you guys good with that?
Append, collection.
Append,
Wait.
collection.
I missed that. Hold on. Yeah, I looked at it for a second. Can you read?
You get the part where we did a clear and keep transformation?
Yeah. It's just like you just did alt a bunch of times, though. I heard that, and I was like, wait, what did he just do?
So basically, all I did was I hit A, selected everything, right-clicked, and then parent, clear, and keep transformation. This is what this button does is it's unlinking our object from the bones. And it's doing it to every object at the same time.
What? But wouldn't that get like the main one that you want to keep?
No, we're not even gonna keep any of them. Actually, we're gonna go completely scratch.
Boneless?
Boneless. We don't need the bones.
Ivar the boneless? Okay, I'm following along. I've had all my clones have bones so far.
We're gonna use the Miximo bones. So by clearing and keep transformation, we're gonna unlink the bones, and that's why on the side it looks all funny because, well, now the object's not under the bones, so they're just free floating over here on the side. So we're gonna clean this up now. And
Babe,
we
do
can
you
do
know
that
what's
by
funny? You
what's that?
thought you could do this in like 10 minutes. And I'm literally going to take you back to minute 2, I think.
Append.
Darn it. So I've appended all my collection. Now what?
You're gonna put your mouse in this area. Has to be
Yeah.
inside like this box. We're gonna hit the letter A,
A. Mm-hmm.
and then everything should be highlighted and selected. I'm gonna right click, go down to parent, and then go to clear and keep transformation.
Clear and keep transformation. Did.
And then this side scene collection area should look all kind of funky now, like this.
Yep.
Then we're gonna go, and there's these little boxes here that indicate collection,
Mm-hmm.
and they're kind of like folders. I'm just gonna delete all of these folders.
Oh.
You can delete it by just hitting the letter X.
Or delete.
Okay, so once all
Yeah.
your boxes are deleted, we'll let me know when your boxes are deleted. Good.
Yep.
Oh, you're good already. Okay, we're gonna do our first little tip, I guess.
Okay.
So
Ooh.
if you select any of these, we'll call them items on the side over here, and you want to select from here to here, you can just hold shift, click the first one, hold shift, click the bottom one.
Yep.
Because what we're going to do is, if you look at everything in this side menu, we only need these little triangles. These triangles are your object. We don't need anything else. So this symbol is for like empties. We don't need it. This is the old armatures, the old bones. We don't need it. We're going to delete everything that's not these triangles.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
So if you click and hold shift and click, that'll save you a little bit of time getting rid of stuff.
Man, this is a clean project. This is
Right?
not messy at all. I thought Blender was the sloppiest. I didn't understand how anybody did anything because I was like, how do you keep all of this stuff in one project forever? But okay, I was just doing everything wrong. That's good to know.
So yeah, I just wanted to say, to add to what Beb just said, that when it comes to using new programs like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, or even Blender in this case, it might seem quite daunting at first, where everything seems super complicated. But I mean, once you get the hangs of it, you try it out like 3 or 4 times. After a little bit, it just feels super familiar and easy to do. So this might seem a bit confusing at first, but once you understand why we're getting rid of everything and just keeping the triangles that are actually the meshes, it will make sense.
All right, you guys have just your triangles left. So we can now we'll make a little collection. So I just right clicked in this area, make a little new collection. So we're adding a folder back. And it'll be called collection 1. You can just rename this collection 1 by double clicking on it and call it whatever your clone is. So it's just like adding a new folder, right? In anything on your computer. And then we're gonna click on the top, hold shift and click on the bottom. And then just drag this into that folder. So now it's all neat and organized.
Ooh. Y'all have no idea. I get so overwhelmed sometimes when I see like the way I have my file set up. So knowing that I could just get it all down to one line is like actually a godsend.
It's nice, isn't it? So clean. And I can't believe my workspace looks like yours, Beb.
Hey.
That means I'm following along properly. Wow, look at me.
All right, Fairy, now it's time for you to teach us advanced animations.
Yes, so now you have to open up Mixamo.
So at this point here, your clone's actually set up already. We're going straight into Mixamo already. So we're gonna go up to the top. Yeah, we're done.
Advanced
with
animation.
this portion. Okay, so for Mixamo, which you're all about to learn in a little bit, it only accepts OBJ and FBX, but it's a little wonky with FBX because with FBX it's trying to also pull like your armatures and your textures. So we're going to use OBJ just because it's lighter and it should work for everyone much easier. Yeah. So once you guys have all saved your file, you're going to click on File, click on Export, and we're going to choose this wave front, which is the OBJ.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to save it in a place that you can find it quickly. I would put it in the same folder that you had set up earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So the method we're actually going with for some of you slightly advanced users is we deleted the armature because we're going to use Miximo's rigging system. And by coming in with a blank clone without an armature, it'll work because it doesn't have to calculate the armature we gave it. You know, we're giving it nothing, and it's going to build one for us. So that's the next step in this. We're going to open up our Miximo menu, or go to miximo.com, everyone.
Oh, they might have to register if you haven't already.
Yes. So we'll go to miximo.com. This is a character and animation template website, and it's free. It's by Adobe. You can just register. I think you can sign in with your Google, and it asks you like maybe your birthday or something, and that's it, and you're in. So once everyone is here, we're going to click on this animations tab, and then we're going to go upload. And this is where we're going to upload our new clone we just exported out. So we're just going to drag and drop.
Oh, it's a drag and drop, is it? Okay.
You can probably select and go find it.
Where's my folder?
So hopefully you guys are at this point where you get to see your clone sitting here in Miximo. And then we'll just follow the steps. So we're going to hit the next, and then this is where, because we didn't bring an armature or a rig inside, it's going to let us build one.
Ooh.
So we just have to drag these dots onto our character. So the first one's for your chin, so you just put it somewhere on the chin.
At the bottom of the chin or the middle of the chin?
There's a little example here that is really small, but it's basically just anywhere in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it makes that big of a difference if you just miss by a few millimeters. It just
Hey, Bev in the metaverse.
Wait for me.
Okay, we'll wait. Once your clone is loaded, everything in Miximo has like this 3D view. So you'll be able to preview templates live of your clone during whatever action you select before we even download it. It's all live on Miximo. So here's the hard part. You guys have to pick one.
No. No. Don't make me.
We need to pick one. You can pick more after, but we need to work with one at least.
Okay.
there's 52 pages of animations, just to let you know.
I know. I literally went to the last one because I was like, no one's going to get right to the end. So let me go get the best one.
So once you finally selected one, it's time to download it.
I haven't.
Okay, it's really that easy. We're just going to hit download, and it's going to bring up this menu. Just leave it all default and hit download again. And we're just going to put it right back in the same place that we put the original in. And it should rename it to what the animation is, which is even easier. You don't even have to worry about what you're going to call it.
Angry. Mine's called Angry. Oh, damn.
I'm actually really excited to see what Fairy comes up with because I think she was so worried this whole time about like she wasn't going to be able to blender at all, and like here she is, advanced animation teacher.
All right, once you have it downloaded, just go right back to Blender. Give you 2 minutes to open up Blender.
How did you know?
Okay, as soon as you import it, you might not see it. We need to select this really small arrow over here by the compass thing.
Yeah.
And then the scale, you might notice by default, it's probably something ridiculously small.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to left click on the top box, this X box, hold your left click, drag down to the Z. So all 3 boxes are selected like that. Or you can go one at a time and enter the number 1.
Sick.
Yeah, that's way smarter than how I was doing it. I was using scale, and I would scale it until I could see it. But that also meant that there were times where I was just like dragging my mouse like to extreme amounts to where I had like a clone like that was like 3 million feet, and then I would move it around and then I'd lower it. Like, this looks like a smart way to do it, less chaotic.
You might have, if you're like me, you might have your armature, your new armature with all your new files in this same folder as your old one. So if you want, you can right-click New Collection, and we can separate this into that new collection.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Yeah.
Just to make everything more organized.
And then we'll just call this one, I just name it exactly what it is. So mine is the Flying Knee Punch combo.
Done.
And at this point, we won't actually need the base, but we're not going to delete it. We're just going to hide it. So these 3 little icons you should have here by default, we can just select them all. So they're grayed out, and then it's just hidden in the background. And now you have your clone here.
No, mine's just a skeleton. What did I do? Oh, no. Oopsie.
Control Z. Undo that thing.
Undo that.
Undo that thing. Hold on.
The most used tool by every creative.
Why?
What would you do without it? Literally. Life with no erasers.
It would be just real life, wouldn't it?
Oh man, you just went deep on us, Barry. God, Jesus.
Barry, did you recover it? Is it okay?
Yeah, so hold on. I need to drag it into that folder now. Maybe everything didn't come with it. I think. Hold on.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You might have files. You might have your triangles, we're calling them in this video, your meshes under this armature animation. You can also open it up and just select all of it.
Oh, I did it again.
Ooh, one thing I had an issue with is I would download the from Miximo. It gives you a with skin or without skin option. And sometimes I would do it without skin, and then it would come as just like the armature. I don't know why I did this. Hand.
Oh, it would just give you the bones, yeah.
So maybe check to see if you download, or you can always just download a second version just to see if like with skin works for you.
I did it. Oh. This is okay. We're good. What the hell?
So you have it in a second
I know
folder.
the headaches because I ran through too many.
Stressful.
So Farah, yours looks like this, where your original is hidden and you have your new one up.
Yep.
Yeah, so now we're going to color it. So you might notice if you go to, let's see, this mode. Yeah, your viewport shading, you have these 4 little circles up here. These are different viewing modes for you actually to work in. So this mode here, which it's your solid mode. So in your solid mode, you're not going to ever see color. But if we go into material mode, it gives us a little example with color. And the color right now is just plain white. So we need to add the color back in. So we're going to click on every single object and we're going to color it basically. So if we start at like the hair, for example, I'll select the hair. So now my hair area is highlighted.
Deb, do you actually mind? You just said it, but somebody just asked, and I feel like you'd answer it. Do you mind saying what the material and other blend modes? I don't even know the name of those buttons, but I know what they do. So if you could give those names again, I think that would that actually help, because somebody just had their clone go gray, and I think they're just in the wrong one.
Oh yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'll start with this tip/trick first. Instead of using these buttons, because I don't ever use these buttons, if you just hold the letter Z or tap the letter Z, you'll get this menu that pops up.
Oh, I do that by accident, and then I just like my computer goes crazy. Like,
yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the letter Z will activate this menu. And this right here is the same thing as these 4 little circles, but this is much easier to work with. You can do it anywhere and it tells you what it is, right? So to go over these really quickly, your wireframe is looking at the geometry, looking at the lines of your objects. And then your material preview is it's essentially a fake world that Blender provides for you so you can see light and color. And then your solid mode is just what it would look like without any light or color. And then your rendered mode is your actual true mode. So right now we're all in the dark, so you can't see anything because we didn't add any lights or anything yet. So what we're going to work in is your material preview. We're going to use Blender's fake little world so we can actually see things.
I thought I had claws, but that's just my skeleton. That looks really quite wild.
Okay, so once we're all in material preview, we're gonna go through each piece of your clone's body and give its color back. So we can start with like the head. We'll go with, I clicked on my hair, and then on this whole side menu over here, which you can adjust the height of if you want to, we're gonna go to this little circle red button looking thing. This is your materials. All right, you with me? Slow me down if I'm going too fast.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. So we're going to click on this button right here next to the new, not the new button. Click on this, and it's going to show all of the materials that we already have in your project. Your original clone has all of its textures. So we're going to take those textures and apply it to our new animated clone. So for my hair, mine is called White Stylish, but yours might be something else. It's also going to be the same thing as your files over here on the side, if you need a reference of what they're called.
Oh, wait, I have, and then I have my hair. So hold on. How do you?
Okay, perfect. So you have an object that has two materials on it, right? So like
Yeah.
for me, mine is the jacket. So if I
Okay.
throw on the jacket, it's the outside is right, but the inside is wrong for me.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what happens to me.
For this
That's
one,
an interesting way to wear a jacket, Bev.
It's fashion, darling.
for this one, we're going to need to switch into our edit mode. So up here at the left, top left, it says object mode.
Yeah.
If you click on that, we can choose edit mode. You're going to see it's all kind of wonky back here because it's giving you the example of what it looks like without it being attached to the bones,
Mhm.
you know, its original form. So what we need to do is just deselect. So click anywhere, left click anywhere. So all these vertices are now black. And we're going to pick an area that is different that we need to select. So for me, my jacket on the outside is perfect. I don't need to touch that, but I need to change the inside. So I'm going to select any of these dots. It could be one, you could pick a batch. Just select some of the vertice dots on the object that you're trying to grab.
Yep.
Okay, from here, we can use this little select button.
Mhm.
So we're going to click on select. We're going to go select link and choose link.
How does it know?
So it grabs every single dot that is connected to the dot that you grabbed.
Oh yeah, but it didn't take the back of my scarf. So do I have to do that?
You might have to do it again. Yeah. Or I can't see what yours is, but like say for example, I also needed to select the buttons, right?
Mhm.
What you can do is if you hold shift is kind of like an add where I don't want to deselect this because if I click here, I just lost all these dots, right? That's not what I want. What I want is I want to be able to click this button as well. So I'll hold shift down, just leave shift held down and also select the dot here by just left clicking.
Mhm.
Then you can go select link. So then you can grab
Perfect.
two separated areas at the same time.
Control L. Wait, there was a page somebody posted. If anyone can find it, can you post it under one of Artifact Creators' posts? It's like all the Blender shortcuts on one page. Ooh. What?
Wait, what?
Blender
Look, I don't
tips.
even have a number pad on my keyboard anymore, guys. So I'm not even gonna try and remember that one because first off, that's genius. But like now I'm pissed because I don't have a number pad.
Oh,
That's true. Sometimes you have to make your own.
Make your own shortcuts in life, people. That is
Hell
our
yeah.
life advice.
Yes.
That's good to know.
I
That's
love
really
that.
crazy.
Okay, so
perfect. How's
Bev-
it going, Trey?
yeah, I've selected them all, but now I just need to change the color. So how do you do?
So
that.
with all of these vertices selected, under your materials, you can see I'm still on the jacket, right?
Yeah.
We're going to hit this little plus right here.
Plus.
It's going to add a new slot here. And then
Yep.
we're going to select the second material. So for mine, it's named in the same format where mine is like red varsity jacket and then red varsity jacket or red varsity t-shirt. So it should have a similar naming convention.
Okay, wait. So you do plus.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then-
do a plus to add a new material slot. And then we're going to fill that material slot with the second material for that object.
So Deb, let me ask, because I
Oh.
think you showed me a different way to do this at one point. Why aren't you like linking the materials like you had before, where you had like the old clone and then the new one? Or am I missing something?
Oh, we're doing exactly that.
Oh, it's just a different way, man. Dude, the amount of I this is why I just sit back and just listen, because there's so
No,
many
ask
things
away.
that I don't know.
If I can think of an easier way to do it, I'm gonna demonstrate that way instead. You know?
Yeah, no, this is really interesting. I like it.
Okay, so for everyone else that's on this step, it's just this assign button. So whatever vertex you have selected, when you hit assign, is going to apply it to the material that you have selected. So if I hit assign, it should go to the shirt material, which is what I want. And then if I switch this back to object mode, the clothes will wrap back on the body.
Ooh!
Isn't it crazy? Wow.
Nah, how did you get from that jacked up mess to that in like 4 seconds? That doesn't make
That's the magic of Blender.
I gotta go back and watch the recording, y'all. That is all I gotta say.
So I forgot to press assign, and it was like, I was like, why am I not doing this right? So I did it about like 10 times. And I was like, let me just try pressing this. And I did it, and it was magic.
So you're good. We're caught up.
We're good.
Okay, that's probably the hardest part in this whole step, when you have clothing that takes multiple materials, because then you have to go and select the spots that need to have the second material.
Yep.
But then from there, you can just continue on to every single piece of your clone and just color it.
Easy.
So that's what it was. I don't know. For me, I didn't have those clipping issues like you had with the shirt when I brought the Miximo animations in. So I've only ever had to do this part, which he just did, where it's like a quick few like selections of where things are supposed to go.
Question.
Mhm.
When you do the eyes, is it my right or is it her right?
It's the side that we're looking at. So this is left, this is right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's my right, not hers.
Yes.
Okay,
I believe they're the same picture though, so I don't think it really matters.
that's true.
Yeah, it only
what
matters
if-
for like different eye colored clones. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Or if you wanted to make them cross-eyed.
I think they're probably the same.
That would be bad if somebody did get a cross-eyed clone. Sometimes my snap filter does do some weird eye movements. Like right now, it was just winking, and I'm not doing that. Like I'm not sitting here winking at people, but like, you know, the snap filter just kind of does what it wants.
Cass,
Yeah.
your eyes are the best.
Here's one you guys might notice if you're following along. If you click on the eyes, it might say eye shine. And if you were to
Yeah.
grab it and move it around, you'd see it's like this. It's not even the eyes. The eyes are underneath it. This is just a glass layer. So you would apply an eyeglass. Or if you don't like it, you could just delete it. But that's up to you.
Oh?
The eyes are underneath that little thin, glossy shine effect.
Yes.
So if you try to apply your eye to the eye shine, it's not gonna work. You have to click twice. So while I'm left clicking, you can see it's switching between. Well, now it's grabbing everything, but I have eye shine right now. If I click again, now it's the eyes.
Oh my god.
The eyes is where you put your eye shader material.
I just. No, sorry. I was just gonna say I just saw my eyes in edit mode. If you know, you know. If you don't,
You talking about this?
yeah, but in edit mode.
I think that's above all of us.
That's a senior design Chris Lee question.
Yeah. But how's you guys clone looking? Is it all put together?
Looks pretty sick.
No.
No.
Trying to find a t-shirt.
So guys, we're coming up. We've been going for at hour plus. It seems like we're almost at like the tail end. So if you're out there listening, if you're in the chat and you have questions about specific things that might not be related to this, but it's Blender related or 3D design related, feel free to request to speak or, you know, get your questions prepared and we'll be sure to answer them for you. I see Remy has been sitting patiently on the spaces. I appreciate you for that. I also love the designs that you've been putting out. It goes so well with your art. It's so cool. Oof. I think that's like a artist life tip, because I feel like a lot of us will just get stuck in the, hey, this is not flawless and this is not the, you know, $1 million production that I see in my head that I want to make. But this is my, you know, 3-year expertise of work or whatever it may be. Ooh. Very good point. Yeah, I think we were complaining about cycles earlier. And yeah, that's really annoying when you render something and then you go and see it clip somewhere in like frame like 10 through 100.
Where's Cass gone? Cass?
He's gone.
Oh no. So Beb, I have an issue.
Yes.
With my joggers, I have white bits sticking out of it. What is going on with that?
Okay, that's a fun one.
Oh, is that probably the body parts, right?
Yeah, we're gonna have to cut the body.
Yeah.
Oh,
that sounds.
I watched
This
that
sounds pretty
tutorial.
gruesome.
No.
Yeah, that's actually a really good optimization tip. Where, you know, since our clone is wearing all the clothes, you actually don't need all the body that's underneath, and it's a great way to optimize your clone for when you want to export it or even do renders.
Absolutely. So we'll get into the cutting the body part now, because yeah, probably a lot of people who picked certain animations are gonna have the body clipping through. So the way we can clean up this body, we'll select just the body object. Don't select the head because that's something else. Select like the feet or the hands. So that way we can have this outline. And then we're going to switch to edit mode or tab if you just learned that. Now we'll see our body in its original form back here. And we're just going to deselect. We're going to do something kind of similar to what we just learned with the jacket being 2 separate pieces. We need to cut out parts of the body that are not visual. So for my clone specifically, yours might be different. If it's like wearing a shirt, it's going to have different cut points. So for me, because the arms, I just switched to object mode real quick to show you. I only can see this much of the arms, right? So I can just take a guess that anywhere around like maybe here, if I cut right here, that'll be fine. You will still be able to see the hand, because what we don't want is, I'll teach you how to do this in a second. I'm just going to give you an example. What we don't want is to make a cut and then now it's like that. We have a hole, right? So the way we can do this really quickly is we just pick an area that we know is not going to be like interruptive like that or see-through. So somewhere up on the arm over here for me. If you're a shirt, you're probably somewhere way up here. And you're just going to hold the Alt button and click on one of these vertices. So if I hold Alt and I click, this time it was perfect. But for some people, you might get this effect where it's going up. If that happens, just click again until you have this nice little ring cut. And then we're just going to hit the letter X and delete it. And we'll delete the vertices.
X, delete vertices. Oh.
Now you should have like this hole, this slit through your arm over here. So we're going to have to do that to each part of the body that has like exposing parts. So all your hands and feet usually. So I'm just going to go around and make cuts on all the body parts.
Alt, click, X, delete vertices.
I realize it may be too late for this, but it is also worth it's worth duplicating that object and putting it in a hidden folder, so if you need the body later, you have access to one that hasn't been chopped up.
Yo, that's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really, you shouldn't be too far in. You could Control Z real quick if you want to duplicate this body, or you really could duplicate the entire thing if you wanted a full backup.
Yeah, I have two versions, and one of them is like the optimized one where I'm putting more stuff and more like chopped up stuff, and then I have one where I'm not really sweating the poly count so much.
Come on, he's sauced up.
Yeah,
He's
backups are important for sure. Wherever you're comfortable and you feel like, yeah, I should back this up, definitely make a duplicator, or you can even just use this feature, the file save as, and just keep doing new save as.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I've been doing, but it's kind of problematic because then I have like 8 different rendered clone base bodies, but some are like nightmares that look like that. Basically, what he does right now. You know.
Like, I mean, I'm the same way where I had to create.
That's alpha.
You guys are becoming Blender experts.
Wow. When will I give tips?
Very.
Next time.
Oh, you will see.
Advanced animations. We asked for them.
Okay. I got you.
Then we're gonna do the same thing. Once you chop your arms up and legs up a little bit, we're gonna just do the regular select linked, or Control L if you learned that shortcut. And we're just gonna grab the inside body and delete it because we don't need it.
Whoa. Okay, I'm so scared I'm going to delete an area that I need. Okay.
Like you can see here, this is really me just being quick about it because it doesn't really matter. But yes, if you want to like really optimize your project, you would come in and be like, yeah, this one's actually unnecessary as well, you know?
Okay. What are the chances you could repeat that last step when you hold on? So you've got the bit, yeah. You've done all the vertices.
You made some cuts, yeah.
Yeah, you made some cuts, and
then just select anywhere on the inside of the body. So I just
Yep.
grabbed a little patch over here, and we do the same format as earlier. Go select linked and linked, or Control L. And then we're just gonna hit X and delete them.
beautiful.
And then when you switch back to object mode, they'll just snap right back in place without all that extra body that might have been breaking your clothes.
Oh man, my elbow's missing.
And then this right here, since I'm seeing it, this is your bones. This is your skeleton. This is not like body that we missed. And you can test that if you want to. There's like this little sidewards infinity 8 moon eclipse thing up here, right? If you turn this on and off, it'll hide things like your bones and the graphs and stuff.
So
Also, if you're like lost, if you're lost and it looks like this and you're like, what the hell, I can't do anything, it might be that this is off.
That is good to know.
I'm going to send you a picture.
What did you do? What'd you do?
What did you do?
Well, Fairy, you can just share your screen and should be.
Oh yeah, okay. I could do that. Is that safe? No, I don't want to do that. Just in case.
What happened? Let us know.
So I've got it's almost like I've got 2 joggers on or something. They're like colliding into each other. Or is that the leggings? Could it be that I've got?
Did you perhaps accidentally import the joggers twice, maybe?
Oh, maybe. Okay, hold on.
Maybe.
You shouldn't be later.
That sounds a bit.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I've got leggings.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
Fashion tips by Kavan.
Yeah, I just did that, but there's still something else. Oh, wait, there's 2. There's 2 joggers.
How many do you have?
What's called oversized jogger Geo, and the other one's called tech jogger Geo.
Yeah, it's 2 different types.
Why do I have to?
Like double check. Once you click one, you go, wait, is there 2? Just hit G and try and there's an extra pair of cameras out. It's easily identifiable.
You're right. Should have done that. Okay, let me just put my arm back and then. That looks so funny.
But all that on the other side.
So for a picture, we don't have to like, if you press play, it'll play it out, right? And your computer might struggle a little because
Yeah.
it's a little heavy, the textures, but we can just move these until we find a frame that we like. And then for me, like, I like this one. This will be the pose that I use for when we do render.
What? I didn't even think about using the animation files as ways to just come up with quick poses. That's so slick.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's exactly what we're doing. We're gonna find a nice pose or a nice animation and then freeze it basically on a position that I think looks good. And we're gonna take a picture of it.
That's so slick, dude.
So talking about making things beautiful, my beautiful clone actually doesn't have the skin texture in the settings. So I don't think I dropped it in at
Okay,
the
let's
beginning.
do that.
Yeah.
So for DNA, right? That's what we're talking about. We're missing.
Yeah.
And you're right. I don't have my DNA on either yet. So what we'll do is we'll click on the face. You should see like this outline, right?
Yeah.
And with this selected, we can go over here. It's a shading tab,
Shading tab.
and everything's gonna look different,
Wow.
right? And if to get back, we were in layout mode. So if you ever need to get back later, it's layout and shading. That's the 2 we're bouncing between. And we can zoom in if you want and move the screen over so you can see your character. I'm using the middle mouse click and holding it and dragging around and scrolling to get in and out. And if you want to like pan, where like I'm trying to get my camera, this camera, to be up here and be more centered, but I can't because it keeps rotating. You just hold shift. And then now it turns into from a rotate to like a panning. We just need to get a good angle on the face. And then I'm going to pull this up a little bit and we're going to go through your shader node for your head. So we can do a little organization first. So everything is linked by these lines and it essentially goes out into this. This material output is the apply to face equal sign, right? So we're going to grab all these boxes and kind of organize them because by default, they should be all wonky and stacked like this.
Yeah, and also they're all selected. So if you're trying to move them around, then everything's moving around. Click on the black bit and then
yes, definitely deselect. I think I accidentally deselected when I was moving this around. So all we're going to be really doing is switching out the textures it came with the textures that we downloaded in this DNA textures folder that you may or may not have.
Okay, hold on. Let me get that folder open.
So you can just open it up on the side like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start with saying that you don't have to replace everything.
Okay.
You know, it's your freedom as an artist, as a creator, is you don't have to do every single slot. You can decide what's best and use that. So like for my clone, for example, we're going to go down the line from the top. You can see here it says human M light D. All we're going to do is replace this with the same corresponding letter that Artifact provided. So this one is Angel D. And we can do that by just dragging it in here.
Oh.
And it's all set up already.
My God. Oh my
And then
God.
I'm just going to disconnect the line from our original one over here and connect the line to our new one in the same slot. So you just follow what's already here and replace it with what you've been given.
Wait, why can't I take it off? It just makes another line out of it.
Oh, you need to disconnect from the principled BSDF, the green one.
Oh, okay. Disconnect from there. Okay, say no more.
And you can even leave the original here if you want to. It'll make your file a little heavier, but it'll give you that option where, you know what, I don't like it. You know, I'm going to switch it back. You don't have to delete it, you know?
Mm-hmm. So what are the other ones in the folder?
So for each DNA that you have, we're just going to match them all up. So for E is a new one that you might not have. And I don't know if it's angel specific. Other ones might have it too. But E is your emission. So we're really just following the letter.
Uh-huh.
So for R, that's your roughness. And we have a nice roughness example linked already. And then your N is your normal. And the normal is the only one that's a little bit different because it uses a second node, your normal mapping node.
Okay.
But the concept is the same. We're going to connect into the normal map and then into the main BSDF.
I like how you were answering my question as I was about to ask the question.
No way.
Yeah, I have never known what what the N and R's and everything stood for. I took the cheap way out by basically just making it the same skin texture throughout all of them.
Like you linked one to everything?
Yeah, I just linked them.
You can. Really,
Which
it's
I
on
didn't
you
know
to
what-
decide like what you think is best, right? Like if you don't like the way it looks, change it.
My one doesn't look right. She's very shiny.
So yeah, that's what I mean. So for example, like I'll throw in my roughness one. And for some reason, what they gave has like this gloss on it.
Yeah.
So I just didn't use it. I used the original. But we can if that won't work for you, we can change that. Let me know.
Well, I deleted it, so. Beb, would you be able to explain what the normal even is?
So it's like it's basically a way to apply a texture. And in what I mean by texture is like how you would refer to the word texture in real life. Like you can feel how it's rough or smooth or bumpy, right? It has like that depth to it, right? So that the normal map is replicating that, where your object might be a nice, clean, smooth object, but you put a normal map on it, and now it has that rough texture, realistic look. It's trying to replicate that. Yes, it's a much more light way to do it because we're not actually creating those little geometries of bumpiness on top of your model.
Okay. Okay, wow, you guys, look how many brains there are giving me information at the same time. We're actually very lucky. Let me just say that. We're so lucky. And
Look,
Beb,
most
you've
people have
got
to go
so
through
much
YouTube to get these
patience.
answers.
Pardon, what did you say?
I said most people have to go through long YouTube tutorials to get these answers.
Oh my god, yeah. And in the end, you don't even get your answer. But we've got teachers
Literally.
everywhere.
That's what we're here for. We'll take it slow, ask questions.
Okay, so I realized that I don't actually like the stuff that was in that folder, and I like the originals. The only thing that I'm concerned about is my scouter. So you know the glass bit, it's not see-through. How would I? Is that a tutorial for another day?
I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't know, Korea, but I think I heard you saying you talked about this one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I know exactly what you're talking about. How does the scouter look like? Because I think that's the blend mode that it's wrong.
Okay, well, it looks solid. It doesn't look like glass, basically. It's quite opaque.
Okay, so in order to fix that, let's see. You basically need to change the blend mode.
Okay, hold on. Let me just go.
So I have that area where we need to navigate to do
Yeah,
that.
that's the one that I would normally pick to fix that issue. You just need to make sure it's either opaque or click that. It should be alpha blend.
Oh.
Click one of those two, and it should give you the result that you're looking for.
But sweet. Well, Beb looks like he's ready to render. So, Beb, teach us how to give it that final gloss and make this the cool thing that we want to see.
Okay, we'll do something super basic just for time. So put your mouse anywhere inside this viewport box, and we're going to hit Shift, hold Shift, and hit A. This is how we can add anything pretty much. We're going to select the camera because we need to put a camera in here. And then you should have this little transform menu here. I'm going to pull up this side box that we all have and make sure my camera is selected. So we're just going to use these number values over here to set up our camera. So you can see here we have this red line and this green line. So this is our X. Your X is red and your Y is green. So we're just going to pull the camera back. So if I left click here and I drag it in any direction, you can see my camera's moving. So I'm just going to get a general idea of where I want it. Because my character is up front over here, I'm just going to pull the camera back over here. And then maybe I'll mess with my rotation a little bit. By default, I have this wonky rotation. You might have something different. But I'm just going to set this to, let's say, 90 degrees. And then set this to 0. I'm just typing them in. And I'll set this to 0 as well. So now it's facing just perfectly at my character on the ground. And then once you have a general placement of your camera, we'll look through the camera. And you can do that by right-clicking on top of your camera. And you should have a button up here that says Set Active Camera. And if you have a number pad, you can just hit the number 0. If you don't, you have to right-click over here and go Set Active Camera.
Wait, what was
Get
that
a
last
number
step?
pad.
How do you see it?
So we just right-click on your camera
Yeah.
and select the Set Active Camera button.
Okay.
And that should push you through into your camera so you can look through your camera.
Can you move your camera when you're in this mode?
Yes. So this is where I would do like the finishing touch of I want it maybe up here.
Nice.
Or you can utilize your rotation tools too. Like maybe I don't want the camera up. Instead, I want the camera.
There's a trick that I use when you're in this stage and you already have your camera built in, because moving the camera around can be a bit clunky, especially since you've already gotten used to sort of navigating the viewport with your middle mouse wheel and stuff. So what I like to do is, especially where you're at right now, I hit the letter N as in November, and well, actually, you don't need to because your sidebar's already open. But there's a tab there on the side that's called View, and in View, there's a thing that just says Camera to View, and if you click that, then you can use your middle mouse wheel and look around, and it locks the camera to your view, and it makes it really easy to swing the camera onto an area that you think looks good.
Yeah, that's how I use the camera currently, and it was a saving grace when I first got into Blender because it didn't feel like I had to, constantly like swing positions on a scale or something like that.
So once we have a basic, just get a basic camera setup. You can really go and spend time on your angles when you're ready. We'll just switch this to rendered, and we'll see how it would look if you were to take a picture of this or render it out. So right now there is no light in here, right? And your guys should look kind of like this too, where it doesn't really look like something you're ready to post on Twitter, or maybe not. So what we can do is we can go into this button right here. It looks similar to the materials tab you're working on earlier, and this is your materials for your world. And by changing this, we can actually set the world's lighting. So for example, if you wanted to do like your character is in a dark room, you would make it black.
Wow.
And now it's like you're in the dark.
Yes.
And then from here, we could add just like a really simple light. So I'm going to break out of the camera mode so we can go back into like a regular layout looking view. I'm going to hit Shift A because we're going to add our first light.
Guys,
So-
I have a cool render coming up. I guess if I can show that to you once it's done.
Hey.
Can't relate.
So if you know how to do lighting stuff, you'll be absolutely fine for this. But we'll do a really easy one. We'll just get like an area light or a spot or a point. You can pick any light you prefer, and they're going to basically be very similar except for sun. So, but I'm going to pick area light for this. And you're going to see it's going to put it way back here on the 0 between our X and Y. And similar to the camera, we can just move it using these. So I'm pulling it up on our Z, which is our up and down. And the green is the Y, so I can just move it along the Y. And you can see it's already lighting my character a little.
Beb, I'm not gonna lie, the fact that you can even have lighting in your rendered mode shows how good your computer is compared to mine. Because my computer would just be gray, gritty, just grainy dust. Not able to see anything. I mean, it's a PC, but like I just have so much software on there from so many different types of like, you know, video editing to Blender and Photoshop.
Are you on EV?
Yeah, I don't know my GPU. I don't think I have a graphics card or like anything serious. Maybe like an NVIDIA, like something.
No, I think he's asking the right render engine.
Oh,
because if you're
no,
accidentally on cycles, it'll kill your computer right now.
So I can see stuff in the rendered view in EV still, but it'll give it. It's still like rough. Like it's not
Really.
It's not perfect. So I have to usually wait until like it's all animated and rendered out, or like give it a few minutes to like catch up. Almost it's weird.
You don't have to work in rendered. It's just easier because you can see the result. But you can work in material or solid and do the same thing, and then just switch to rendered after. Check.
That's usually what I have to do. At least like when I'm moving the lights, like I'll get them into like areas that I think will look good, and then just kind of fine tune it. But I'll stop distracting. We're just supposed to make this a quick ending.
No, you're good. So I'm just gonna do a really basic like top light facing down, right? And then so I'll just move the light over here, following this Y, and then I'll just give it a little bit of rotation on the X, so it's pointed at the character. And it doesn't really, you can move this around, get it exactly where you want, but I just want the angle of light to kind of basically hit this downward on top of my character like that. And then we can go back to your camera and see what that did. So I have a little bit of light at the top. And then we can go into our light. So by selecting our light here that we added, we have light settings down here.
Ooh.
And this is where we can change things up. So you can change the color. Basically, the color and the power is going to be at a beginner level what you play with the most, I think. And then we can just bump this power up a ton. So I'm going to go like 1,000, right? Maybe that's a little too bright, or maybe that's that washed out effect that you want. Or you could bring it down where I want it white, but I don't want it that white.
I don't think I should have picked the black room.
I really like this angle because it kind of makes your character look not like a hero, but like if there's a you know how there's some shows that angels aren't the good guys. I can kind of see that right now.
You can always change the world setting, so it has its own little tab here forever. So if you don't like the black, you can give it a little bit of a gray.
Yeah.
Or you could do like a green screen style background.
Interesting.
Ooh, yeah, I want that one. Oh, that's bright.
And then, just like the texture on your model, also do your world. So, not that we're going to do that right now, but you can use HDRIs, and it'll give you like the lighting from the photo, and that's how a lot of people get like accurate lighting simulation.
Yeah.
What?
We can go off with it. But that's going to take like a whole nother hour, 1 to 2 hour session. I'm going to go through some quick questions that I think people might ask. Like, for example, right here we have like a landscape style photo, and maybe you don't want that. Under this tab here that looks like a printer, which is kind of nice for your brain to memorize, like you want to print it, right? We can just switch this to something that would be even. So your Y is 1080, you can make this 1080, and now you have the square. So you're going to print out a square instead of a landscape. So you can set this ratio to anything you want to get that style or size.
And that's especially useful for cycles, because sometimes you might notice that the picture. If the resolution is a bit too low, the result is a bit too grainy. So you want to probably put the resolution to like 2K, 3K, 4K, so you get rid of all that grainy effect. But this is not the case for Eevee, so we're fine.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Somebody had mentioned Korea doing the cycles by the resolution, and I didn't understand what they said. They said 3,000 by 3,000. I was like, what does that even mean? I thought it was the tiles or something, and then I was like, there's no way you can use 3,000 tiles. Like my computer's definitely gonna crash. Like,
Yeah, but you also see why cycles take so long, because obviously if you want a better result, you need to increase the resolution, but of course that's going to take even longer. So it's and that's why also
what, throw it
Photoshop is
there.
quite useful, because you might have a grainy picture, but if you use Photoshop, you can get rid of that graininess. And it's
Yeah.
for me personally, Photoshop and Blender renders always go hand in hand if you want to get like a very good result. Or you
That's
can
crazy.
use any like free alternative like GIMP, Photopea, whatever.
Cass, this one
man.
actually might help you too. We'll throw this tip in the mix. In this same area that you just set your resolution, there's this button here that says render region. And when you turn this on, it'll actually only it'll only render what's inside of your camera box. It just saves your computer a little bit.
Y'all gotta stop. I've been wasting my whole damn time. I'm wasting so much time. So, but sweet. This is a great first session. I hope people were able to be like Fairy. I mean, sheesh, like you went from I don't even know if I'm gonna get these files loaded into now it's like, hey, I want to get my shading perfect on my my eye tracker or whatever.
He's busy over there setting up her lights, trying to look dope.
Dude, and next thing you know, we're gonna see a train of like fairy animations coming out out of the woodworks. But I'm super happy that we did this and that we're gonna keep doing it. I'm excited for the next ones. And yeah, if anybody who listened in, I appreciate you guys for joining. We're definitely going to have more. Keep an eye out on the Artifact Creators page. Follow anybody in the clone community. They're going to be sharing this stuff. We're all sharing this information as well, which is the best part. Like, it's a creative economy. We're all creators of some sort. Even if you haven't learned how to do things like this yet, you're capable if you want to. So just jump in, ask questions, and people will be here to help you out. But Beb, Kriya, Fairy, Kavan, any last words before we close it out?
Yes. So to render, you hit render image. That's it. We're done.
Yeah. you gotta give us the actual final.
Oh, wait. You gotta save the picture though.
That might help.